Welcome back. I'm Chris Lucey with Sports. They say to the victor goes the spoils. Well, in that case, 9 victories for the number 20 Syracuse football team earns them a spot in the Camping World Bowl. Not too bad of spoils right there. The game gets the Orange out of the central New York winter tundra to sunny Orlando. There, Syracuse takes on number 16 West Virginia. Mountaineers star quarterback Will Grier is undecided on whether or not he'll play. The senior is still wondering whether or not the game is worth risking injury before the NFL draft. On the Orange side of things, though, there isn't a shadow of a doubt about who will be running the offense. Now, Eric Dungey doesn't have the typical pro buzz that Grier does, but the senior makes up for that in bravado. I mean, just ask the Boston College fan section after that little kiss he blew him. Through a coaching change, 3 losing seasons, and a myriad of injuries in his career, Dungey hasn't wavered. In fact, the Oregon native has racked up 16 program records, including total offense. Still, even a mountain of confidence couldn't keep the quarterback from feeling pins and needles waiting for the bowl announcement.
It's kind of been, we've been anxious all day, really. You hear one thing and then you hear another and you're just like, all right, well, can we just find out what it actually is? And now that we finally know, like I said, we're very happy and we're, very excited for this opportunity.
I do appreciate the slotting of it because that's where the second team in the ACC normally goes, and that's what we earned this year. I'm excited about the opportunity that we have, and I'm excited about the opportunity that the players have.
When the season began, Babers asked for faith in this team without evidence. After a last-place projection in the ACC, Dino's given the Cuse faithful 9 reasons to buy into his vision. SU plays for reason number 10 and its first double-digit win total since 2001 on December 28th. And it's been a while since FCS playoff football has made its way back to Central New York, 15 years to be exact. But hey, 8th-seeded Colgate made the wait worthwhile with one heck of an NCAA playoff second-round game against number 6 James Madison. Let's take you out to Hamilton right now. Raiders head coach Dan Hunt said himself the Dukes were a tough draw, only team in the last 5 years to win the FCS title. Other than North Dakota was James Madison, but hey, the Raiders are a Patriot League champ this year, and Abu Dwarme Soiree is playing like it. Blanket coverage right there on the right side. One of 5 picks on the day thrown by the Dukes. That interception set up a field goal, and then Grant Brenneman taking off on the read option. After trailing the entire game, the 32-yard keeper ties it up in the 3rd, and now time for Colgate to take a lead. Not a rocket of a pass, but it finds Owen Rocket in the end zone. The Dukes tie it up again after, but Colgate gets one more shot before regulation runs out. The kick is up, and it just tucks inside that right post, and the Raiders are on their way to the FCS quarterfinals for the first time since 2003. It doesn't get any easier, though. Their next opponent is defending national titleist North Dakota, and the Bison get the Raiders in their house in Fargo. Now, Colgate bounced James Madison out of the playoffs, but on the basketball floor, Colgate was a bounce-back game for Syracuse. After losing 2 games at Madison Square Garden, the Orange beat the Raiders at the Dome, and with another win under its belt, the Cuse went to Columbus for a game against number 6 Ohio State. There's Jim Boeheim, broke a 3-game losing streak in the ACC Big Ten Challenge game last season. Now the Orange wants a win streak. Ohio State off to a hot start, you see it there, but Brissett, a cool customer from deep. Next man up, Merrick Dolezaj from the right arc, gets it to fall, finished with 8 points. And the Cuse with that long-range shooting, spreading out the floor, opens the lane for Tyus Battle, the junior blowing past the one-on-one. Cuse trailing at halftime, but comes back to build a lead in the second. Many thanks, of course, to 11 second-half points from O'Shea Brissett. Back and forth game between the Orange and Buckeyes still, though. 18 points for Elijah Hughes, a major difference maker, and you see him do it again. Top of the key, gets it to go, ends the day 4 of 9 from downtown. And now Tyus Battle, again from way back. Nothing but net from deep 2-point range. And now Syracuse coming back on the defensive end. Bit of a dicey call here. No goaltend called on Shuku there, but it's not like the Orange are complaining. And then a minute later on the opposite end, Tyus Battle through traffic. Are you kidding me? Battle finishes the game with a game-high 20 points. Boeheim to the handshake line in a hurry. Syracuse steals a win from number 16 Ohio State in Columbus. Final score, Syracuse 72, Ohio State 62. Meanwhile, the ladies are headed over to Minnesota for their iteration of the Big Ten ACC Challenge game. Coach Q with that tie, looking dapper, matching the SU alternate road uniform. Something else. Golden Gophers are looking good early, but Kiara Lewis cuts into that early deficit, feeling right at home in her former conference, the Ohio State transfer. Q's down 5. Stroutman can't get the 3 to go, but Miranda Drummond is money on the putback. Fourth quarter now. Orange down 2. Not for long, though. Tiana Mungakahia all alone takes it home, and this thing is tied at 55. Syracuse with a bit of a lead later. Tiana tries to take it to the hoop again. Not happening, but Stroutman cleaning it up. Digna finished only with 8 points, though, and the Orange would need more than that from several Orange players to cover for Kenesha Bell. The redshirt senior racked up a game-breaking 24 points for the Golden Gophers, enough for Minnesota to hand SU just its second loss of the season. Minnesota pulling off the upset, 72-68. The Orange lost a 5-game win streak in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, but the Crunch were still on a roll when they took on the Monsters today. Now, sure, Cleveland cost Syracuse a 7-game win streak with an overtime defeat on Friday, but that didn't stop an 11-game point streak for the Blue and White. Let's take you down to Cleveland right now. It all starts in the neutral zone. Trouble, that is. Taylor Reddish on the finish. The rookie's 8th goal of the season makes it 2-1 in the first. Moments later, Syracuse coming up the board. Verhaeghe to Barboulay, finishing with Dennis Gann. 3-1 Crunch. We're not even out of the first period. 3 minutes to go in the second. Monsters on the power play, but the Crunch steals the puck, and Boris Tkachuk throwing a haymaker. Why not? And he gets nothing but net while he's at it. Now, Corey Conacher needs to extend a point streak, so you see him hustling down the ice, nabbing an empty netter. 10 straight games for a point for the winger, and 11 straight games with a point for the team as a whole. Final score, Crunch 5 and the Monsters 3. That's all we have for sports right now, but coming up after the break, weather and traffic.